Hello and welcome to another video. I hope that you're all very well. Today I'm going to be talking about the two white stop lines that appear at some traffic lights. I commonly refer to them as a cycle box. After all, it has an image of a bicycle in it. The idea of these two white stop lines is to allow bicycles to position ahead of the normal traffic. There's a lot of advantages of these cycle boxes, as you can imagine, for cyclists mainly. The first advantage is it will allow a cyclist to get in front of the traffic. So there could be a queue of traffic at the red traffic lights, and it will allow the cyclist to get all the way to the front of the queue in front of the traffic. So when the lights do change green, it gives them a head start to clear the junction before anybody else. The second advantage is it makes them more visible. It makes them safer. Now, if a cycle box wasn't there and I'm waiting at the red lights, a cyclist could be on my side. I may not see that cyclist unless I'm actively looking. Whereas if there's a cycle box in front and the cyclist is directly in front of me, it makes it obvious to me that the cyclist is there. So it makes it more visible to the drivers. The idea is that it causes less conflict between cyclists and the motorist. Unfortunately, this doesn't always work. Why? Well, there's a few reasons. The first reason is that there are some motorists, many motorists, who ignore the box and will just stop in there, basically due to a lack of knowledge, which is where I come in. I'm sharing my knowledge with yourselves so that you're aware of what to do. Unfortunately, there are a minority of drivers, and there will always be a minority of drivers who simply choose to ignore the rules and just will go into the box for their own selfish reasons. Rule 178 of the Highway Code states, motorists, including motorcycles, must stop at the first white line reached if the lights are amber or red. Throughout the Highway Code, the word must and the word should are used. The word must means that it is either law or a rule of the Highway Code and must be followed. The word should means that it is advisory. In this rule, the rule 178 states it's must, that you must stop at the first white line if the lights are either red or the lights are amber. And if you don't, so if a police officer does see you go through the first white line when the lights are red or amber, then you can be prosecuted for that offence. However, the Highway Code continues to say, if your vehicle has proceeded over the first white line at the time that the signal goes red, you should stop as soon as possible and must stop at the second white line. Well, there you have it. If the lights are red or amber, you must stop at the first white line. If once you've stopped, you think, hey, let me creep up further and go onto the second line and get a head start off everybody else, that is an offence. However, if you're driving along and the lights change and you feel you cannot stop at the first white line, then you should stop as soon as you can after it, but you must still stop at the second white line, the latest. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go for a very short drive. Within the next 30-40 seconds there will be one of these cycle boxes, as we're going to call them. I was just going to put my seatbelt on there, but I realized it was already on. So we are going to go for a short drive, and as I said, we will find these lines at the traffic lights. I can already see the traffic lights in the distance. Now the lights are green at the moment. They may change. Now you can see the box here. So I've passed the first line and I've passed the second one. I'm going to be turning left at these lights, and once again we've got the two white lines. The driver in front, he stopped before the first white line, which is exactly what you should be doing. So if a cyclist did come now onto our sides, rather than just waiting here, he'll see the cycle box, or she may see the cycle box and go into the front, and that cyclist will be visible to all the drivers, especially when you're driving a large vehicle like these trucks. It sometimes gets hard to see them. So there's the cycle box again, and I've just passed it. So now you guys know the two white lines. Ideally you want to aim to always stop at the first one. If you cannot stop at the first line, then you must stop at the second one. Well, that's all we've got time for today. I hope that you've benefited from this video. If you have, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for your time. Bye bye.